Okay, so here we are at our Cloud9 homepage. Basically already registered, but if you go to Cloud9 c9.io, which is the Cloud9 website, you can register for an account. It's a free account, and you can also get a monthly paid plan, which allows you to have private repositories or servers, and also they start much faster. So, but let's say you have the free account, like I have here. You're gonna create a new workspace, and so let's call this the Flask book. Is the name that we're gonna use here. And I say that it's public. I'm not gonna get kind of like link to any Git repository, and we can use the blank template and create workspace. So that will create basically your own server that you're gonna have access to. And if you did the Flask course, you were pretty acquainted with Cloud9. Okay, great. So we have a README there, which we're not gonna really use. And let me maximize this. This is a terminal. So what we want to do here is we want to basically start using MongoDB. And Cloud9 comes pre-installed with MongoDB, so you don't have to really install MongoDB. But there are some things that we need to set up on the server for it to use it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a directory called data, and I'm going to put it right here on the basically home directory for this user. So we're going to create make dir data. That's a folder. And we also need to create a directory for the logs, and we're just going to be doing that here called make dir log. And now we need to create a file called the MongoDB config. And so before we do that, what I want to do is I want to create the folder where I'm going to be working on this. Right now, I don't know if you saw this. It's a little bit confusing, but this top level Flask book folder is not really a folder. It's basically like the instance kind of like folder. So for us to start working on the project, we actually want to let's remove that README file, and let's create the Flask book application folder within, and then change to that folder. So now we're here in the Flask book folder. Let me close this. This tab is it's like a JavaScript terminal, so we don't need that. So let's go ahead and create within that Flask book folder. So we're here in Home Ubuntu Workspace Flask book. We're gonna create this this file called the MongoDB configuration file. So let's go ahead and create a file in the Flask book, and we're gonna call it MongoDconf. Double click there, and with Control Escape I can hide and show that terminal. So I'm just gonna paste. I copied it from another file, and you're gonna have the ability to do that as well. Each video has a link to the proper step on the on how the code looks at that point. So But just to kind of like give you a little bit of what we're doing here, we're calling the system log, that log directory that we created earlier, and the storage is going to be on the data folder. Journally is not enabled, which allows us to kind of like conserve memory. That would be true if it was in production. We're going to allow the MongoDB instance or server to be started as a fork, so basically like a daemon. And we're going to bind all the IPs to port 27017, which is the port that MongoDB typically uses. So you don't need to understand a lot about this. It's what kind of like a configuration file, but if you want to read more about it, definitely kind of like take a look at it. So let me check. I want to double check that we have this folder available. So let's see. I'm gonna do ls. Yep. So it looks like it's set up correctly, and we have both the data and the log files in there. So that's going to work perfectly fine. Okay, so what's left to do now is basically start the MongoDB instance. And let me clear the screen. And now we're able to run MongoDB by doing mongod-f MongoDB-conf. Now, I'm getting this error because Cloud9 has an alias for this command, and it looks like they put an option that it's not recognized by MongoDB. So hopefully by the time you are doing the course, this is going to be working fine. But if not, all you need to do is put this on around quotes, and it'll be the same thing. But in any case, here it goes. Oh, I'm not in the. Oh, I put the wrong conf. It's conf. There you go. Okay, so if it says child process started successfully, that means that MongoDB is now running. So let's start to play a little bit with MongoDB.